What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again here with the one-on-one interview with the brother Big Moose. Now, I was referred to him by Mark Hills TV. You guys know I call him Uncle Mark Hill. He's out in Medellin, Colombia, and he was telling me about a brother that he knew that was in the cybersecurity business, and he's been doing that. And you guys know we talk about that a lot of times on our streams. I wanted to hear it from this particular brother who's been doing some white hat cybersecurity and all types of cybersecurity to see what opportunities there are for African American men in this particular business. So I want to go ahead and welcome the Big Moose YouTube channel to the show. Thank you for coming on, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Tell the people a little bit about your YouTube channel and, some things that you do there and all that.
First and foremost, I want to say what's up to everybody out there. What's up to brother Markel. Big shout out to him. Well, let's see. My channel is based around a few topics regarding Black men, mainly career when we're talking about cybersecurity, also family and travel. Also, we're dabbling a lot into finances as well. I've had some people come on to the show to talk about the finances and currently what I'm doing now. And as I spoke with you earlier, I actually lost about 8,000 last month in rental, properties, but I'm able to regain that, and I was able to get some good money through using, financial strategies. So it's a little bit about, just Black men empowerment and, going from there.
Okay. Yeah. We definitely got to talk about that, losing that 8,000, and shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me talk to you about this because I was referred to you by Mark Hill because of you're currently in cybersecurity. How long have you been doing that for?
Cybersecurity. Let's see. I graduated college in 2003, bounced around a little bit. So cybersecurity itself, about 8 years now.
Okay.
I've been doing other things in IT and a few other jobs. I was actually a school teacher, case manager, few other things, but IT is where it's at in cybersecurity, where I landed.
Okay, what made you want to go into the IT industry?
IT, there was a need. There was a huge need. I played football in school. I started out in the medical, like, hey, what is my major? Just like everybody else, what do you want to major in? And I started leaning more towards IT. I just love computers, man. Remember back in the day, we were playing Oregon Trail and Duke Nukem and all that stuff. And that's where it led down that road. You know what I mean? So, and it just grew over time. It really just grew. My passions grew, and I've been able to get other people along with it. Like my wife, actually, she got into IT for the same reason I'm in it. You know what I mean? She saw the flexibility, she saw the money, and she was able to do it as well.
Okay, cool. So let me talk to you about this. So when you first got into IT, and shout out to brother Tony Davis for the $10 super chat. Thank you, brother 99. When you first got into IT, where did you start? Where did you start in, how does one start from ground zero getting in IT? Let's talk about it when you first started.
All right, so this is a misconception that a lot of people have, is that you need a college degree to get into IT. You really don't. Some of the best programmers, some of the best coders in the world barely graduated high school. As we all know, you look at some of the billionaires out there, barely graduated high school. It's all about your mindset and what you can comprehend. How I got into it, like I said, I went to school, the comp sci major at Temple University. From there, I started teaching at public school. And then it just built on. I got a couple of internships and I started jobs here and there. I then moved to Atlanta, dealing with a BS job down there. I took my talents further up north, and this is where I really got into IT. I was working for a contractor for the government. It started out with something as simple as plugging in computers at people's offices, you know what I mean? And helping them with their keyboard stuff. I started going back to school, getting more and more educated, learning more and more about the IT field, saw that the need was there, especially about, I want to say about 10 years ago is where the need really kicked up. And there weren't any brothers in this field. Even still, there's not many brothers. I work now for I want to say the #1 company in the world. Actually, they not only hired me, they hired me and my wife. They brought the whole family out. Was able to put my daughter in a private school. Even hooked us up with a realtor for a brand new house. You know what I
Wow.
mean? That's how much of a need there is for African Americans in the community. And like I said, like for instance, I got to promote my lady. She actually was in banking. She went back to school, got her doctorate degree, and now she's a programmer. You know what I mean? So they were like, look, we got both family members. Let's just bring them all in. Let's just give them as much money as they can as we can. And but I'm the only one. I'm the only brother in my whole building. I mean, they're bringing in a lot of Pakistanis, a lot of Indians from around the world. They're flying them in, trying to get them, jobs.
Okay. Shout out to
Shout
Markel.
out to brother Markel. I see he's on the
Markel
chat.
TV. And guys,
There you
go ahead
go.
and subscribe to Big Moose there. I will
Yes,
put the
sir.
channel in the link. But let's talk about the differences now, because 10 years ago when you first started, what's the difference in the market now from then and 10 years ago to now? What's the difference?
Okay. Okay. The difference is technology is always moving. It's not one of those things like, for instance, like you could become a school teacher and you're teaching math across the board. Math is math. You know what I mean? It never really changes. With technology, you have to constantly go to school. I'm actually just finishing up my master's now. I'm going to go for my doctorate soon after. It has to continuously be an educational thing. Now, again, you don't have to go to a university because there are a ton of certifications out there. You could start at the basic, which is like your A plus. From A plus, you're going to go to your network plus, then you go to your security, and all of those. And there's a whole plethora of certification that you can do. So the difference is, or how it's different from before to now, is that you have to continuously learn because technology is growing. What I learned last year, I don't even implement this year. You know what I mean? It's cell phones. I literally can do half my job, not half, but 10% of my job right now being on quarantine from my cell phone.
Wow. Okay.
Which is back in the day, I didn't have that. I didn't have that option per
Right.
se. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's definitely moving. It's getting very young. And people like me, like I just turned 41, so I'm looked at as a senior in the industry. A lot of these programmers, a lot of these cybersecurity professionals, a lot of IT people, they're 20 years old. You know what I mean? My daughter is coding at a level that I learned in college. She's 16 years old.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. Tanqueray Big Moose look like PD Pablo, North Carolina. Is on the screen. Shout out to him, Gabe A. I don't know if you've seen him before. That's
I
one
look
of our
like
brothers.
P. Pablo. Okay.
He's in
All
the
right.
cybersecurity also. He's
North
helpful with
Carolina.
my
All right, I see you.
Hall of Game podcast. Shout out to brother
Did we lose O'Shea?
Gabe
Brother
A.
O'Shea, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
He probably be back. Let me see who's on the chat right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, I'm losing you, brother. I can barely hear you. So for any brothers that want to get into the industry, that the first thing I would tell you, what you want to do is, just talk to somebody. Reach out to me. You can reach me at Big Moose Garage at yahoo.com. Reach out to me. I can point you in the right direction. I'm literally, they're sending my wife, not myself so much right now, but they're sending my wife to different universities, especially HBCUs, trying to attract talent, trying to attract more African Americans into the industry. Where I live, I'm in the Midwest. A lot of people don't want to move to the Midwest.
Okay.
I'm originally from Philadelphia, and what they don't want to do, they don't want to challenge themselves, go against the norm. I got a friend. Matter of fact, here's a good one. I got a friend that I tried to get to move out here with me. I'm like, look, the houses are big. We're in 3,000 square foot houses. I got a 5-bedroom with a theater room, 2-car garage, the whole 9 yards. Come on out here. Let's get you set up. Let's get you into the industry. Let's get you this money. He makes a good living. He makes about, let's say about, I don't know, $50,000 where he lives, which is fairly decent. He does twice as much work and I triple his salary. You know what I mean? All he had to do was leave his environment, but he hasn't. He hasn't left his environment. That's just one of the things you got to deal with. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that are afraid to leave their environment. And what you can do with this money, and what I like to promote on my show is, once you get your money from your main 9 to 5, take that money and how can we build it? I built my money putting it into real estate, being able to save. Right now, I'm looking at what I just bought about maybe just under $5,000 worth of Spirit stock. Excuse me. I bought some Sprint
Mm-hmm.
stock also. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like the money's there, but how do we make it? How can we make it grow? And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm making it grow, and I'm promoting that on my show. Like, take your basic 9 to 5, no matter where you're starting. You can be
Mm-hmm.
working at Best Buy, you can be working at Walmart. Save that little bit of money, and I can teach you how to make it grow.
Can you hear me now?
I think Brother O'Shea's still having the internet
No,
issue. You know, we're gonna keep it going, keep it going. Let's see who's
no,
on the
no, no,
chat
no,
right
no,
now.
no. They can hear me. Can you hear me? Wait a minute.
Brother Terrence,
Hey.
do you need an associate's degree to go into cybersecurity? No, sir, you do not need an associate's degree to go into cybersecurity. You can start in cybersecurity just with a book, bruh. Get a book, learn the basics of computers, learn the A plus. There's an exam that goes with it. It's not an easy exam. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's not super hard. I'm no genius. You know what I mean? I went to Frankfurt High Public High School. I am no genius whatsoever. You know what I mean? And I wasn't in the top classes or anything like that. Get a book, start from there. And what you do, you'll see where your niche is, because your niche might not be cybersecurity. Your niche actually can be networking. Your niche can be programming. It can be graphic design. The biggest thing in IT right now is UX design. That's research with design. You don't have to know how to code too well, but that's the new hot thing. How do we market to people? How do we market to a younger generation? You know what I mean? There's a ton of options out there. Can you brothers hear me? Can I?
Can you hear me? We can hear you both. Okay. I can hear O'Shea. He can't hear you. I can hear him. Can you
Oh,
hear me now?
O'Shea. Okay, I'm sorry. O'Shea, I can't hear you, brother. Let me see if I take you out. Let's see what happens.
Can you hear me now?
Brother O'Shea, can you hear me right now?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, you can hear me. All right, good. I can't hear anything that you're saying. Don't worry. I got you on two systems right here. I got you on a system back here as well. Let me see if I can get you up here as well. All right. Brother O'Shea, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear it, me?
Nah, I can't hear anything that you say.
Hey, Moose, hold
It
on.
says that I'm backstage.
Okay, hold on. What about now? Can you hear me?
All right.
Hello? What is going on? Can you hear me now?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Nope.
Hello? Oh, man. Had a good show, too. So brothers and sisters, brothers, we gonna get it. The white man trying to hold us back, brother.
That's why we need redundancy. Just in case one thing go down, we bring up the government. All right, can you hear me now, Brother O'Shea?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Man, I still cannot hear you. I'm sorry about that.
All right.
I can see the comments. I see the brothers can hear me.
Yeah, so feedback. Okay.
All right. I'm glad you can hear me, Brother O'Shea. I cannot hear you at all.
He has to change his audio settings.
Give me a second. Let me get a secondary microphone headphone set, and I'll jump right back on.
All right.
Yeah. Changing the audio. All right, all right.
Come on, brother.
All right. Let's see. Can you go ahead and say something for me, brother?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Nah, sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get another secondary mic.
All right. Can you guys hear me then? Shout out to everybody. We had a good stream going, man. But yeah. He needs to leave and come back. Okay. Well, he already left and come back because, like, you know, struggle streams. Like, it's 4:00 in the morning, and I ain't gonna keep doing this shit all night. I got shit to do. Shah's Bay and Hotep.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
Okay. White man was trying to hold us back, brother. Thank you. All right. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Engineering Cannabis. Gabe. All right. Thank you, Jabs Cross. Okay, what were you saying before? I forgot, man. What were you saying before you had dropped off?
I don't even know exactly where I left off. Give me 1 second. I'm actually hearing an echo.
I think you're talking about
There we go.
You were talking to a brother about the need for associate's degree and something like that.
Okay. Yes, you do not need an associate's degree to be in IT. Pick up a book, study basics, study your A+ exam. Start there. See if it's something that you actually want to do. See if this is a field that you want to get into. I would say 2 months of studying just with the book. The test is not easy, but it's not too complex, but it's the first step. And that's anywhere in IT. Start with the A+. From the A+, you want to move forward, maybe your network plus, and then it just builds upon itself, whatever direction you want to go, because there's so many directions. And like I was telling the brother, UX design right now seems to be one of the biggest fields in the IT industry. That's something that you definitely want to get into, or look into at least. We're talking 6 figures easy. You know what I mean? Not easy, but 6 figures right out the start. That's with an associates, with no associates, with a bachelor's, 6 figures.
Okay. Now, how long does it take to achieve that?
To achieve to get your basic A+ and then move from there, 2 months. 2 months. Hey, you can go get A+ for Dummies. You know that book, that yellow book that we all have? You can go get that, study for the exam, take a couple practice tests. I would say 2 months of 2-hour a day studying, and you're good to go. And as I told a brother, if he wants to reach out to me, and I saw you put the email up there, I appreciate it. bigmoosegarage@yahoo.com. Reach out to me. I can point you in the right direction. And as I was talking to the brother about was taking that 9-to-5 money and how to build on it. Because now I'm sitting on, what am I sitting on? Maybe 7 tenants right now. Okay. So I was able to take that money, build on it, buy the properties. From taking the property money, I'm able to travel the world. For a lot of you guys that know my channel, I just actually canceled 3 trips in the last 2 months. One was to Belize. Another one, I think we were going to some conference. My kids been able to go to Scotland, Hawaii, so forth and so on. Just taking that little bit of IT money, putting it into a secondary fund, helping it build.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I mean, obviously, depending on where you live, I know like some of the brothers are from New York that are doing tech. You know, they're making more money. So like, how do you let me ask you this: once you get A+ certified, then what is the next step after that? So let's say you pass that certification, then what?
Okay, so the next step, there's a couple of directions you could go. So let's just go the path that I took. So you get your A+ and you look for just a basic job. We were talking about something where you're plugging in keyboards. Let's start with the city of Philadelphia, because that's where I started. That's where I went to college and so forth. And that's where I'm from. So From there, I'm getting a basic job at a maybe a law firm or an IT contractor, and I'm plugging in keyboards, monitors here and there. At that time, I was probably making $30,000 a year. But what it does, it opens the door up for so many other things, because the main thing you need in IT more than anything else is experience. No matter how much you go to school, experience is what counts.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people who don't have college degrees are able to make $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year, and not living in New York or California. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest IT hubs are Austin, Texas. Here in the Midwest, they're building Teslas coming out to Oklahoma pretty soon. You know what I mean? There's a lot of industry in the Midwest where you're not paying those ridiculous prices. That means your money's going so much further. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's just say now you want to get into you want to get into the cybersecurity field. You got to try to get a clearance. The hardest thing about getting a clearance, I know a lot of brothers struggle with this, is getting a company to sponsor you. You cannot get a clearance through some third-party organization. A company has to sponsor you, or you have to work for the government. Here's a trick that I've been able to put guys onto that I know brothers are using. Down at the NSA in Maryland, or the DOD, Department of Defense, whatever, they have security guards. Well, those security guards make about $10, $12 an hour. That's not a whole lot of money. But guess what? They all have government clearances. And once you get a government clearance, you can work around the world. We're talking about jobs in Afghanistan. We're talking about jobs in Uganda. We're talking about jobs in any country that the U.S. has pretty much infrastructure there. They are looking for people. So now once you become this security guard, you're already in IT field. You're a security guard part-time. You have a clearance. You just start posting at these jobs. Matter of fact, they'll start calling you. I got a friend back home. He got his clearance from being a security guard. He's in IT as well. He's turning down six-figure jobs.
Wow.
We're talking six figures in like 6 months. So say I was to go to Germany for 6 months as a private sector. I work over there, helping out an office, plugging in some computers, helping out people when they have problems. I might make 150 in 6 months tax-free. So the money is definitely there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me do this, and shout out to brother Lamar Graham, brother BNLS, Gabe. I'm gonna ask all those questions. The brother wants to know, brother Lamar, Big Moose, what job position do you have now? I'm working on my OSCP now. Now, listen, y'all know I don't know what that means. So, what is the OSCP? I got my brother Gabe. He's the one that helps me with all of this stuff. So,
listen, all them acronyms, I don't even know, man. You got to explain that one to me as too. Also, so what I do in white hat hacking. So basically, what I do, I test systems. So I test network system. My main function for the company that I cannot name. My main function is to test the security function of the heating system. Okay. A lot of you not, because that's one of the major ways people can hack in. Think about your house right now. For any of you guys that might have a Nest system or some system where it's work from your cell phone, well, that's a way for somebody like, not me, because I'm not a hacker, but somebody like me that can get into your home, get all your information. So that's my main function right now. That's my main job. You also have like the red hackers, where those are the guys that might break into a facility, set up a network, set up a small, what they call a Raspberry Pi. For you IT guys that know what that is, you could set up a small Raspberry Pi. You could put a Raspberry Pi inside. Remember them little juice hugs, the little quarter waters from back in the day? I could put a whole computer inside of that and throw it in your trash can. And cipher all information off of whatever device you're using, mainly those Android devices.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's people like me that just go around and test those type of vulnerabilities, is what they would say.
Okay. All right. No. Good information. Thank you, brother BNLS. Brother Gabe, what type of roles in cybersecurity do you see that only require A+ cert?
I don't think there's any role that only requires an A+ cert unless you have another background. I have a guy that actually works with me. He has a mechanical background, no degree, about 30 years in the industry. He just came back from Dubai after 4 months, and I work with this man every day. He knows what they call chillers. Chiller is a huge water unit that keeps servers cool, because servers run very hot. These things, very cool systems. He has to keep them at a certain temperature. I don't know what he makes, but I'm assuming he makes about 190, 250 between there, just from keeping air condition running. He does have an A plus, and he's not really that computer literate, but he had to get his A plus because he wanted to dabble in this field a little bit. But to have an A plus and get into cybersecurity, I don't think that can happen unless you have a specialty somewhere else. And being a specialty means you need to probably be one of the top guys. But the A plus is where you would start. Everybody has to start there. Now, my wife, on the other hand, who jumped straight from, she was working for Merrill Lynch, who converted to Merrill Edge. She has an MBA. She jumped straight into IT and went and got her doctor's degree. That was a different thing. She has the mindset for coding. I personally do not. If you had the mindset for coding, that's a whole different tier. And then there's a lot of jobs for that.
Okay. No. Definitely understand that. All right. And so let me do this. So basically, now getting experience. Let's say if you can't get the government clearance. Let's say if you're trying to do something else. What if you have all those certifications and you're trying to get in the private sector with a non-governmental company? Like how do you go about that?
Okay, so there's a few ways of doing that. There's always a company out there that needs an IT professional, from lawyer offices to doctor offices, mainly contractors. You get in with one of those companies, just like applying to any other job. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're going to be waiting there with money for you at the door. You got to apply. You have to interview well, so forth and so on. You're going to start at the bottom level. That's how you get in. The other way to get in is, word of mouth, knowing someone, showing up to the conferences, putting yourself out there. It basically, out here where I live, we stick together. You know what I mean by we stick together. We are trying to get more of us in this field, more of us to come out and start examining and getting more money and trying to get into the systems. We're trying to get more of us because we're trying to build a bigger community in the IT professional, I guess you say, community. So if let's say if I was talking to a brother and I'm telling him, look, this is how you go about doing it. Just apply, bro. Just apply. Whatever your mode of finding a job is today, whether it's, I don't know, what do people use to find jobs nowadays?
LinkedIn, I guess.
LinkedIn, exactly. LinkedIn's. I get a bunch of hits on LinkedIn. I probably haven't gotten on my LinkedIn in 2 years, but I get a bunch of emails and people that link me on LinkedIn. If that's the best way to go, then that's how you would do it.
Okay.
I try to stay as not as private as possible, but I try not to put myself out there as much as possible when it comes to looking for other jobs and stuff. I don't really need one. If anything, I'm trying to stop working.
All right. Shout out to ABKL. Yo, this is what I'm about to study in college. Yeah, brother, that's what you need to do, brother. Thank you for being here. Shout out to brother Gabe. Yeah, this is something similar that I've heard from a lot of people. Let's talk about this because you live in the Midwest now. And I know brother Gabe has been all over the he's actually an electrical engineer, but got into this. How do you feel being able to be flexible, able to live in the Midwest? What's that different like for you and your family than living in the Philadelphia area?
So this is the beauty of it, man. This is the beauty, and this goes back to how you and I were trying to schedule this interview. I work. My schedule is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. That's it. So some days now, because of the virus, I have to work some Wednesdays, but I'm off most of the week, and I still make the money that I make because they can't bog us down with too much work. It's actually a very stressful job. It's high intense. That way, I'm able to travel with my family. You know what I mean? I'm able to put that time with my kids. I'm able to put that time with my lady. I'm able to do the things that I want to do because I have this freedom. Freedom, IT is one of those professions where you have freedom. You're not bogged down. You know what I mean? Most of the IT companies, they're going to, now when you have that A plus, and I'm jumping around a little bit, excuse me. When you have that A plus exam, when you're starting in your basic, you're going to do the grunt work. You're going to be working them Saturday nights, them Sunday nights, them Friday nights. But hopefully anybody that's in this field that's trying to better their life is past the clubbing stage and they're trying to focus more on their career. It's okay. Work that. Get those Saturday nights, those Friday nights, because if you're not working those days, you should be studying anyway. You should be catching up on the latest terminologies and the latest technology. The transition from we were in just outside of DC, I was working in DC before we moved here. I can go 3 weeks without seeing a black face. And that's the hard part. That's the downside. And I haven't had any issues, believe it or not.
Right.
I thought coming out here, I will have a ton of issues. I'm not having any at all. It's just there's no black people. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, I didn't know this part of America existed. You know what I mean? I thought I'd at least see some country ass black folks out here, or something like that. No, sir. No, sir. I can go weeks without seeing any. You know what I mean? The brownest faces I'll see is like my neighbors who are like from Pakistan.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You talk about conferences, and Brother Gabe mentions that also. A lot of brothers have not, because the world is changing, right? A lot of these networking things happen, and hopefully we can get on my return back to the United States, probably not this year because of what happened with coronavirus, but in 2021, we can start, getting black men together and doing tech conference and stuff like that, just on a small level. I know Afrotech is doing that. How has your life changed by going to some of these networking events and conferences?
Honestly, it going to the networking events and conferences is some of the best things you can do. I don't go to them as much as I should, because my priority is my daughter, who's in 10th grade, and she'll be going to college. Actually, last Friday, I just took her down to Houston, and she was able to get a private tour of Rice University.
Well, that's a very good school.
Because she's coming from a very good school. You know what I mean? And yes, Rice is amazing. I hope she goes there. And it's really her choice. It's one of those things where the conferences will help you branch out. What they say, your net worth is your network.
Right.
You go to these conferences, you meet like-minded people, and you meet people from the other side of the world that are African American, that are African or African descent. You know what I mean? You could communicate with these people, bounce ideas, and jobs will come from that. I know there's Grace Harper is a big one. I think that one's for women. I would have to find out some good conferences that are out there that are open to the public. Then they have some you have to be invited. Then they have some where your job can sponsor you. That's another thing. When you're in the IT field, your job will sponsor you to go to these conferences. Okay. One, because a lot of people hate going to them, but if your mindset is I got a network, your mindset is I want to meet like-minded people, then you want to go to these conferences. I don't care if your job says you're going to go out there for 3 days and share a bedroom in a hotel that you don't want to stay. Go, network, politic. Because that's the only way it's going to happen. There's 1,000 guys coming out the military that's trying to get a job in IT. Not all of them know IT. It's just because they have a clearance, they want to hire them. But people that don't have that clearance, you got to network.
Okay. No, great game, right? Great game. I think definitely we would, Brother Gabe would love to have you on the Hall of Game with us. Let me do this real quick. I would like all the brothers that, if we can, subscribe to. Oh, I have the wrong stream. Let me take that out. No, don't click that link. Don't click that link because I won't let you up here. I put the StreamYard link up there. Okay. Them Negroes will be like, "Hey, brother, I want to come up here, brother." No, you cannot. But what I'd like to do, if we could, because even though I'm not in IT. I'm not in IT. One of the things I like to try to do with my platform is to try to connect black men in this industry. And like I said, I have not the largest platform, but I try to at least bring that sort of content to the space, even though I don't know what the hell they be talking about. I'm dedicated to do that. Gabe, he tricked me into doing this every day. So something like this every day I try to do. So what I would like you brothers to do is subscribe to the Big Moose YouTube channel. Shout out to Uncle Markel for bringing me the brother. And we want to basically get some subscribers to him. And I'm also going to basically, on one of my celebrity junks, I'm going to push, your channel to other brothers. So subscribe, hit the bell. This is a brother that's doing very, very well. We want, a lot of you brothers to go over and follow him, not just listening to me every day. But let me ask you this, because with this whole coronavirus situation, what do you think the opportunities are in tech? Because like a lot of people are out of jobs. Is this a good way to go right now, or
right now it's all hands on deck? Whoever has a job, they're keeping their job. Nobody I know has been laid off in my industry. If anything, we're working more. We're making sure that your computers aren't hacked. We're making sure that you're able to use your cell phones. We're making sure that everything in your life that's run through technology is working and keep going. I see the industry not changing in this field. Now, of course, there's a standstill in hiring. That might be the particular company. For instance, when I was in DC, one of my And when I say DC, that means I was actually doing every government site outside of the White House. So we're talking about the Pentagon, the Reagan building. I even had the Baltimore Ravens and the Orioles. They were under my scope, and I would actually go there, hang there, and do whatever I have to do in those facilities. Those jobs aren't going anywhere, at least right now. Now, if the country takes a downward spiral, I can't say. But for right now, we're all eating. We good. And knock on wood, and thank you to the to the Most High that I have been able to keep my job, and we've been able to just sustain our lifestyle. You know what I mean? Where we're going. And real quick, can I give a quick shout out, man?
Yeah, sure.
Shout out to again, brother Markel. Shout out to Richie Rich from what's his show? He was on your show a few times, man.
Yeah, it was
roll
he
the tape.
Roll the tape. Yeah, Richie in Atlanta. Richie crazy.
Yeah, I was actually on his show not too long ago, man. Shout out to the brother over there in Sasua, the grandfather Taylor Made.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. He's gonna be on here this week.
I have not done Taylor Made's show. I emailed him. He didn't get back to me. But the thing about Taylor Made, what I love about him is that he's helping a lot of brothers. Taylor Made actually helped me set up my account in Dominican Republic.
On his video.
Look, it wasn't on his video. I got him off the video. This dude took me to the bank and helped me set up the account.
Oh, you met him personally?
I met him personally. Yeah, I went out there, met with him.
Yeah, he's a good brother, man.
Yeah,
he's a real good brother.
Real good brother, man. Real good brother. And he was able to help me set up, and that actually helped me push some of that money that I talk about on my show towards other things, because I'm pushing it out the country as well.
Yeah, Taylor Made, man. He's awesome, man. Shout out to him.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to him.
Good guy.
Shout out to him. Well, let me ask you this then. So if you're a new person right now trying to, maybe do a career shift, do you think that, because it seems like for the people that are already in it right now, okay, they're good. But then do you think that, there's going to be a situation where, all right, so these people, they're already good, but maybe not others. Others are still probably going to be like, it might not be good for you because, what do you think about stuff like that?
Well, growing up, I was always told that there's certain professions that'll always be there. Those professions were like a hairdresser, a barber, so forth and so on. Not true. That's hood mentality. The professions that are actually always be there is the medical profession,
right?
The banking and marketing profession, and now the IT profession. Because without those three things, America cannot run. It cannot function.
Right.
Obviously, you need doctors, you need nurses. We love them. We need them. Obviously, they want to sell to the people, so you're going to need your banking and your marketing people. You're going to have to sell things to the consumer. And there's a person behind the scenes that's always going to make it run, and that's the IT professional. Again, cybersecurity is just one small portion of the IT scope. There's so much more that you can do and still make a great living. It just has to start somewhere. I think for any brother that wants to get into this industry, start somewhere. What my recommendation is, start with your A+. Start with going to college. Even if you go to college, you still got to take the A+ exam. So let's be clear for those guys that think they could skip that by going to a community college or a technical college. You still got to take the IP exam. By the way, don't go to a technical college. It's a scam. I promote that on my show as well, because you're going to end up paying like $18,000 and you still got to take the A+ exam, which costs $200. Don't do it. Just skip all that. Go to the universities. Go to the community colleges. Save yourself some money. Those places like Strayer, they're scams. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, I've always thought that Strayer was a scam. And, shout out to the brother Ayele. Y'all meant to ask a question. I'm gonna study cybersecurity at a community college. Is there a difference from starting salary from university?
It goes back to those original tests. Cybersecurity in the community college is a great way to start. Start there. You know what I mean? Finish, get your associate's degree. But in any profession, once you get one degree, you got to keep going. And that's pretty much anything. You know what I mean? You can never really stop. I mean, think about it like this. Who doesn't want to learn more?
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm a bad guy and I'm trying to hurt your industry, I'm trying to hurt your country, I'm trying to hurt where you live, obviously I'm studying how to do that. So you should be studying the same way I am. You know what I mean? And yeah, start with your community college, man. That's a great way to start. You know what I mean? I recommend any kid that doesn't have a 4-year scholarship to a university, you're going to community college. Save yourself some money. Go there for $300 of credit. or $300 for 3 credits and get your degree. It's really simple, man. And it's not impossible. It's not a hard thing to do. Just focus. Focus. I gotta ask, the brother just asked the question, how old is he?
Uh,
If he could post it right here, I'd like to know how old you are, brother.
Huh. So, yeah, how old are you, brother Yele?
And I asked that for this reason, because there's a lot of brothers that are working in other industries that want to get into IT. That's great. If you want to transition over, the same
17.
17.
Wow. 17, he donating money, and you niggas grown now. I'm just messing with y'all.
No,
He's 17
hey.
super chat.
Listen, he's 17 years old.
Next year.
He's asking questions. I appreciate that, man.
Right.
He's going to be a freshman next year. Okay. So
Right.
you're along the lines of my daughter. What I would tell you now is start dabbling now. Grab an old computer, start putting your hand in it, learning about what's the inside workings of a computer. Learn where your RAM, your volatile RAM versus your like static RAM or something like that. Learn about the front side busing. You know what I mean? Get into it, dig your hands into it, and just get the love for it. And that's how it'll make it so much easier when you go to college. Again, I go back to this. And my advice to you is, if you don't have a 4-year university that you're getting a scholarship from, save yourself some money, because that's what it all boils down to. Save yourself some money, go to a community college, get your 2-year degree, then transfer over and get your 4-year degree. You'll literally save half the money. You know what I mean? It's no point in coming out of school getting a great job when you're paying $100,000 in student loans.
Right. Shout out to Brother Tangeray for that $5 super chat. I really appreciate you, brother. Somehow your message got removed, brother, but I do thank you for the money. Okay, family. So we have that. And thank you, everybody, for subscribing to the brother's channel. I believe that he has, I'm not mistaken, he has now, let me make sure here, 337 subscribers. So,
man, y'all brothers get over there and subscribe, man. Because the one thing I'm going to talk to y'all about is the truth, man. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Now, I mean, it's against you. It's not looking. If you're African American, you know the world is against you. You know that it's going to be extra hard, so you have to be twice as good. You know what I mean? Study, get strong in your profession. And a lot of brothers don't want to hear that. Then a lot of things I talk about is doing what you're doing with your kids to help them prepare so that they can get that generational wealth. Matter of fact, let me just jump off topic for a second, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I was talking to brothers recently about buying land. You could buy land. There's a place called Bella Vista, Arkansas. They have country clubs and golf courses all over the place, right? They don't promote this to us brothers. They got land out there for $500. I know this. I stream this. They got land for $500 that brothers can buy right now. So when you're taking this money, when you're studying and you're getting these jobs, what are you doing with it? If you're buying Jordans, then you wasting space. You're in my way. And what's going to happen is you're going to have young ladies like my daughter, who's a top scholar, who's going to come in and surpass you. For you brothers out there that are trying to get into this field, that want to do work and get good money, what are you doing with that money?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that a lot of brothers ain't going to want to hear that truth, but that's the type of stuff we're talking about.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Brother Terrence B. Thank you, Brother Frederick Dollars. I am loving the self-help streams. Please keep it up. And guys, make sure that you guys go over, subscribe, hit the bell again, because this content is, like I said, I know that they're playing with the notifications right now, on the YouTube, but we definitely going to do that. Thank you, Brother Terrence B. again. I guess if there's a question from a brother that he had to say, Brother Lexus P. Is it true that tech firms will pay for certifications after working there for a certain amount of time? IT student with concentration in cybersecurity here. Great content, O'Shea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All of your certifications can be paid for from your job. They should be. Don't do it if they don't. Now, again, if you're on the bottom level, they might not see the how can I say, the value in helping you educate yourself. But you get in good with your boss, you get in good with your supervisor, they will pay for that, because for them, it's a win-win. They get a guy that's a little bit smarter, that can bring more to the table for the company. You know what I mean? It only costs them $300 for the certification. But I honestly would not stop there. I would not stop at the certification. If they're going to pay for the certification, they're going to pay for the training as well. There's a lot of training facilities out there for a couple grand that'll teach you all the things you need to know. that'll bring you out. There's companies out here in the Midwest that will literally bring you to their facility for a week and teach you how to do the real hacking. That's the stuff where you're hopping over gates, going in, throwing those little quarter water juice hugs on the ground. They'll teach you that kind of stuff because that's what hackers do. They're serious about their work. So if your job is wanting to pay for you to go to school, to get certifications, whatever it is, take advantage of that. And a lot of companies are. I don't think I've ever worked at a company that wasn't willing to pay for some type of certification.
Okay. So we have that. Now, I guess let me what else do we have here?
I see a brother said, there you go, that's the one I was looking at.
Yeah, he's saying
how do I feel about the Google IT certificate? I've seen it online. I don't know much about it. I look at it. I don't know how much it is. I think it's free. And once you pass the exam, Google pretty much guarantees you a job. Google, in the terms of companies, especially IT, is here. There's only maybe one or two more companies above it, but it's there and it's fighting for the first spot. That you can't go wrong with that. If all you got to do is study, pass an exam, and get a minimum of $50,000 a year, then do it. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Now, if they're telling you got to pay $1,000 to do it or $2,000, then no, I'll go a different direction. But if it's even a couple bucks just to study something and they guarantee you a job, I think Google guarantees you a job once you pass, or at least an interview, then by all means, definitely do it. Why not?
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you. It's $50 a month. All right. Thank you so much. I don't know, man. Unless you guys have any more questions. I got a few more minutes. My guy has some of my editors here. He's over here asleep. So Thank you, brother Alex Young, for the 24.99. Brother Adept says, thoughts on AWS certifications. Oh, she's a woman. Oh, okay.
I'm a girl.
Listen to this. I am a girl. I'm not supposed to be here, but I have been learning so much more. Listen to these self-help vids targeted towards brothers. Thank you, O'Shea, Sarah O'Shea. Love this video. I know there's a lot of women that's over on my Hall of Game streams as of late.
Let me. She might have missed the beginning of this. As I said, my wife is in IT. She started in banking. When we met, she wasn't working. You know what I mean? We both fresh out of college. You know what I mean? But now it's like she's PhD level. You know, and she's IT. So there's plenty of work out there for women. Actually, there's mainly women. There's a ton of women in IT. Somebody else had asked a question. It was a cert, but I don't know what the cert was. It was a certification.
AWS.
AWS. Hold on, let me make sure. Sometimes I don't know the. Can you guys still see me there?
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Yeah, I can see you.
All right. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know all the acronyms.
Let me Google it. What's coronavirus? Well, you niggas ain't have. Let me look here. What is an AWS certification? AWS meaning Amazon Web Services Cloud.
Oh, that's cloud computing. Everything is moving towards the cloud. I don't personally know that particular certification, but everything is moving toward the cloud. We're pulling everything off of so many servers and downsizing data centers now that everything is moving toward the cloud, even though the cloud is still technically a data center. If anybody that's in IT knows what a cloud and data center is, anything pushing towards that, I would go for it. The information is there. Just go for it. Move towards it. Start from the basics and move in the direction you want to go. So though I don't have any experience with that particular certification, there are hundreds of certifications. There's almost thousands of certifications you can get into.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
so we have that.
And again, let's go back to remember when you're getting into this field and you're working hard and you're progressing, what are you doing with your money afterwards? That's the most important part. See, it's not generational wealth if you're just spending it on dumb shit. If you're spending it on sneakers, you know what I mean, Ralph Lauren, and you're buying new cars and stuff like that, then it really isn't benefiting you. You know what I mean? You're just making money. You're staying in the middle class and you're staying in the ecosystem of middle class, which means you buy more things and then you have to work to support those things. The goal is to float your money somewhere else. That's where TaylorMade helped me out. He helped me get that account. I was able to float it out of the country. I'm able to float it into property. You know what I mean? I'm able to float it like I lost a ton of money because nobody's paying rent right now. But I'm able to float it into things like that. And then I'm building for the next generation coming.
Okay. All right. So we got up to, thank you, brothers, 340. How many did you have when you started?
Bro, I can't even tell you the truth on that. I know you helped me get some more, and I really appreciate that, man.
Okay.
Sometimes the information is not for everybody, and I'm okay with that, man. Sometimes some guys don't want to hear the truth. Like you got guys that are traveling every day, but they dodging child support. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear that truth, and I'm gonna tell them true, and they're not gonna subscribe. But that's the truth. What's the point in you traveling to the Dominican Republic, Colombia, all these places, smashing chicks and doing all that dumb stuff when your kid's sitting back home wearing Jordans? You're not benefiting. You're not benefiting the generation that coming after you. You're not benefiting your kids. Get up to date on your child support. Get your child their passport. Travel with your children. Travel with your fellas too, but travel with your children. A lot of times I might lose subscribers on that because truth hurts.
Right.
Sometimes,
Yeah, no, that's real. Iggy Six Figure says, what if you're looking to get into IT from another career? Where do you start?
All right. Yeah, we discussed that. Start with your basic A+, man. Go to the library. The books are free. You don't have to go buy a $200 book, IT for dummies or A+ for dummies. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would start with going to the library. Then I would start with Audible. Audible is a good way to just learn information when you're multitasking. And then get on YouTube. All the stuff is free. There's a guy named Professor Messer. And for any of you that are in IT, I'm sure they know Professor Messer. He's one of the biggest YouTubers here on, YouTube land. He gives all the information for free. He also does live streams and study sessions. He's helped me get through some of my certifications. You want to start there, start with free. Don't spend a ton of money. Just know you're going to work hard. Know you're going to start at some point and then build from there.
Okay.
So if you're coming from a different career, and real quick, I'll bounce around. When I came out of college, I didn't start in IT. I was actually a school teacher. And I said that I was actually a school teacher for 2 years. Bounced from there. I was teaching at JJC, which is the juvenile justice system. I was teaching in the prison for a short time. And then I became a case manager. And then I was working as a case manager at local, different type of agencies from Maryland to Atlanta. And then I was like, you know what? I'm IT's my heart. That's where I need to get back to. And mind you, I was probably like 22, 23 at the time, but I got back into IT, and that's where I've stayed since then.
Okay. No. Good stuff. And I'll take one more question, brothers, because I got to get to working, and then we're gonna. And guys, thank you for the subscriptions to his channel. One last question for anybody that is there. I would definitely appreciate if you come forth.
I gotta say, Brother O'Shea, man, I love your followers, man. I rarely ever comment, but I always follow your shows, man. And some of the stuff I hear, it's very interesting.
Oh yeah.
What is that? How do I feel about blockchain? I can't really see that one. Somebody asked about web development there, it looks like.
Say it again.
It looked like somebody asked about web development. I can't really see it. I don't know.
Let me go ahead and go back to.
I'm losing it.
Oh, all right. Shout out to Brother Johnny Vegas. How do you feel about blockchain? Currently get into web development, but I'm interested in blockchain. Thank you, Brother Johnny Vegas. Thank you, Brother the Ghost, OG Ghost, OG 60. If you want to answer that for the brother, that'd be great.
What I know about blockchain is that it has something to do with banking. I don't know enough about blockchain. I don't deal with banking as much. I know it has something to do with Bitcoin. Currently getting into web development. Web development is really good. Web development I would think is one of the best ways to get money outside of that regular 9 to 5. There's a lot of people out there that still need websites. The downside of web development is becoming easier and easier. They're actually teaching it in high schools and middle schools. So web development is one of those things where, like, say I'm a web developer, I can go to my neighbor like, hey, I can set up your new, website. I can host your website for whatever business you have for a short amount of money. So you can make a little bit of money, but I think that's a field that's kind of going down because they're teaching it at such a young age. Blockchain has something to do with banking. I think it has something to do with Bitcoin, and I don't deal with that at all. That's not my profession.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so do we have anybody else? If you niggas got another question, I don't care. But so like I said, I do. Number one, I am. I know the notifications are messing up, but I will say I'm very, 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 very excited that we were able to get another brothers. A lot of brothers here in the building tonight, and shout out to you. Shout out to Tangeray. Let me go ahead and help him out again. But any last words, my brother?
Last words. You brothers, make sure that you stay tuned to O'Shea, man. We gotta promote brothers like this that are putting out good information, inspiring other brothers to do well. And also, I love what you're doing by opening up the floodgates for other brothers in this Black YouTube community to get their platform out there and get their information across. So I really appreciate you, man. And for you brothers that are just tuning in, man, you guys go ahead and subscribe to my brother Markel from Markel TV, man. He's giving great information, not just on military. He's giving great information about traveling, living abroad, traveling, and what he's going through on a day-to-day. Roller Tape, Rich from Roller Tape, is giving out great information, along with everybody here knows Tailor Made.
Oh yeah. Those guys, those are my buddies right there. So
yeah, and if any of you brothers that come over to my channel, man, just know the channel is going to get a lot harder. I got a lot of guests coming up. I got like 3 lined up for the rest of the week. We're going to talk seriously. You're going to hear some things that you might not like because I'm not going to pacify you guys. We're grown men. A lot of us are men of color, and I'm not one of those guys that's going to, hey brother, let's get some mangoes. Nah, it ain't about that. Let's make sure that we bring our children up. Let's make sure I can even help. I even push resources to help brothers get custody of their children. And we talk about that on my show. For those that don't know, and I talk real quick, O'Shea, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been married for a long time now, but my daughter, who's 16, is actually from another woman. I had full custody, and I've had full custody since she was a baby. I've had to fight those court systems. So I've talked to brothers about that on my channel as well, how I was living as a 20-year-old. When I was a teacher, I had to bring her to class with me. She was 2 years old. I literally was bringing her to class with me. So for those brothers that need help trying to get custody of their children or how can they focus on getting their children in their lives more, we're going to talk about that as well. I've already started. We're going to dig into that real deep.
Okay, that'll be a really good show to do. Brother Terrence B, he's a East Coaster, but now living in the Southeast kind of. What is the starting salary for someone in cybersecurity? I mean, I know it's a very vague question, but
it's a broad question. I will say this: 6 figures. So starting 6 figures, no matter where you are in the world. So if you're living in Atlanta, where 6 figures goes a long way, that's great. If you're living in New York, where I don't think 6 figure goes a long way in New York, no. But if he's living in the Southeast, maybe Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. I know Charlotte has a ton of companies down there.
Great place.
You can
banking industry is huge in Charlotte.
Yeah, banking industry banking and engineering is great down in Charlotte. You can easily make 6 figures. I wouldn't take a job starting out for under 90.
Okay, and he's in the North Carolina area too. So, so basically, I can brother Terrence B, if you want to give him an email, let me put the email back up there. That's one of my moderators, brother Terrence B. So if he messages you, it's big. Let me put Big Moose
Garage
right?
Yahoo. Yes, sir. Big Moose Garage at yahoo.com. I respond to every email. I might not respond to them the day of, but I respond to every email. I get a lot of brothers hitting me up, some regulars. some followers that have been, asking some good questions.
All right.
All right.
So again, guys, I do thank you so much. We're burning the midnight oil. I want to say one thing to you brothers, right? We had people don't think that YouTube is a business. It is. We had a content change shift in the last 2.5 months. We wanted to try to make their channel a little bit more professional. And me and the team here, because, I've been in Uganda. But I have, we have Dima in Russia, and obviously Tatati and Kim here in Kampala. And we wanted to try to see if we could do something new with the celebrity content. And I will say that, I haven't got 1.3, I haven't got 1 million views in a long time on my channel. It's been since 2017. I took all my videos down. I took like 10 million views and videos down. People don't know that I have I actually rebuilt this channel twice. So the first time I took all my videos down, started all over again from zero, and then started again. So then I lost, some subscribers and all of that. But with the new content, you brothers have really been amazing. And, 1.3 million views last month because of y'all. So I want to thank you guys. It was, I didn't expect to be able to do that, but you guys have really done that. And you guys are opening up the doors for us to bring in other people. When you guys watch our videos, even for free, that helps us fund, that helps us bring in other people. So guys, thank you for supporting us by just supporting the content. I really appreciate you guys. We know we do a stream like this every day now on my channel. So every day there's a Hall of Game kind of stream. There's a business stream every day. We getting professional now. I know Dr. Deacon, he want me to bring back open that O'Shea Blogcast channel and get on to nigga shit. But I do thank you guys so much. We're doing, we're bringing a lot of brothers in, a lot of talented brothers in. Support our brother that came in today. He doesn't have to come. I want to tell you brothers one last thing. Guys like this, they don't have to come over and talk about anything. There's no need to do that, right? They don't have to come. They don't have to create content. A lot of guys create content because they just want to help and they just want to see things get better, like Mark Hill. These guys don't have to they've lived their life, they've made the money, but for brothers out there that said that you don't have information, here's a good opportunity for you guys to get into a network, get into the situations where we can get black men doing things. Subscribe to the brother, subscribe and hit the bell. We'll see much more content getting more robust in the space. Anything else you want to say, brother Moose?
No, sir. Just thank you again. Thank you for this time and space, man. I look forward to seeing the upcoming videos from you. I look forward to seeing the new content. I'm a long-time subscriber, and that's really it, man. Thank you again. Thank you for the transition.
No problem, brother. No problem. And definitely we got to get you on the hall, hook up with Brother Gabe, because definitely you have a lot to contribute. Thank you, Mark Hill, for the hookup. And guys, see you tomorrow. Peace out. Oh, I'm posting some stuff on Patreon for those of you on Patreon, so I'm going to do that. Peace out. Thank you, Brother Moose.
All right. Thank you. Peace.